Welcome to the show, everyone. As you know, I love to talk about everybody else but me on my show, and that's what we're doing right here. My first guest has been on with me many times. I have with me August Heiss, and he's the owner of ADH Electric and Solar. Welcome back to the show. Before you came on, we've been talking a little bit, and you were talking about the uneducated consumer, and that you built your business around educating people. Now, welcome to the show. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you mean by all of that.
Yes, that's, I think, a informed consumer is one of the best consumers to have, and that's our focus has been. The solar maze, which has been around for a while, gets people started, and the sad part is that it's very political, which I don't quite agree with, but if you follow the trail, that's where it ends up. However, educating the consumer on what's available, what they can do, what's best for them, navigating through the utility companies, programs and things like that. Even a lot of salespeople that are out there door to door or indirectly, they're not informed themselves. They're just salespeople trying to sell, and that's their living, and that's okay. However, sometimes that leaves disgruntled consumers. They're not happy with the system that was put on there. It wasn't offset properly. A lot of different factors. And then maybe not quite understanding where their credits could have come from and all that.
So it's been kind of hot out there.
Yes, it has been hotter than usual. I guess everybody's saying it's been 2 months in advance. Somebody just mentioned today they've had in the last, 20, 30, whatever the years is, the first time 100 in March, and now we're going to have like 4, 5, 6 days in a row.
Yeah.
So there is an offset for you people, even if you don't have solar, or even people that have solar after 2017. In APS territory, I mentioned this before, they have the super off-peak rate, which is good until the end of April, so the 1st of May it goes away again. And what that means, from 10 to 3, you want to use your AC, especially today and over the weekend. Obviously, weekend rates, that super off-peak doesn't happen. It only happens Monday through Friday in APS territory. But you want, from 10 to 3, use your AC, cool your house down, and then let it ride so that you can minimize your usage. And I think it's 3.5 cents per watt, cheapest that you'll find. It's almost wholesale rate.
Well, but not everybody is in APS. So
True.
You also have different ideas for other people to be able to still save some money. We want to help us, please. We can't even open up our electric bill because we're so worried about them. Help us. Tell us what to do.
Yeah, there is a lot of things to do to make your home or business energy efficient. So if you're a homeowner, if you have fans, wherever you have fans, run them on low all day long. A mixed air in the space is going to support the thermostat not running all day long or up and down. Shading is important on windows. Insulation in the attic is very important. We also have another product, I call it a power conditioner, which works with your motorized systems in the house to reduce your amperage draw, which actually has a direct reduction on your electric usage. Obviously, less amperage, less usage.
Wow.
There's a lot of little different things that you can do. If you have a electric water heater, put a timer on it. Why are you heating water when you're not home or sleeping?
Because we don't know. That's the thing. We don't know that there are other solutions. That's what you said earlier. There are solutions for people to help you make this livable, okay? Now, one of the things that you also talk about all the time when you come on this show is that you are first electric. You don't, you're going to come in there, you're going to do an assessment from them, and you're going to help them find ways of being able to see where is all of this energy going in the first place before you even talk about solar.
Yeah, energy efficiency is always a key start, and there's a lot of things that you can do, and the ROI is a lot quicker and smaller. So that is the efficiency. Is you don't even need solar per se if you make your house efficient with all the little details that are out there. A lot of it is Some of the utility companies have that information available, and I've just had a collection over the years of doing that. Like there's a terminology that a lot of people are familiar with or may have gotten familiar with, which was called supercooling.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that because 2 years before that was suggested, I was actually implementing that in my own home, because I always have thoughts on when to use and when not to use. Off peak and on peak are considerations you have to look at.
So another thing that we talked about before you came on is people are always, their lives are changing. Your consumption changes. And most of the time, you might have done something like you got a pool, or maybe your son or daughter had to move back home, right? I mean, there's different reasons why, but it happens all the time. And even if you already have solar, you can help them in that area as well by still being able to save. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you do have existing solar, and again, that system was designed at a point X of your life for that home's consumption. And as you mentioned, you got a pool, you bought an electric vehicle, now you're charging that, and there is a electric vehicle charge rate in APS territory. You need to figure that out because it's also saves you money there. Whatever the issue may be, as you said, your child moved in, or let's say maybe your parents moved in because they have to be taken care of. That's going to change your usage to Y, which now is not reflected anymore in X. So we can add to your system, and we can implement other energy savings suggestions as we have. And I'm very open about it. I will tell you what you can do. If you're handy, do it yourself. I'll tell you where to figure that out, and if you can't, we can support with that.
They are rated with the Better Business Bureau. They are statewide. You are residential and commercial.
Correct.
Okay, and I've been told before that no job is too small.
That is true, yes.
And so they're here to help you. And I think what it is that you really want to make sure that you can come in and do an assessment for them, and a sort of kind of, what would you call that, an energy, I want to call it an audit. What do you call it?
Yeah, you could say it's an energy audit. It's just energy focus on what you're using, what your equipment is, because newer ACs are more efficient. There's so many little different things. If you have a pool with an old pump, you want to put a multi-speed frequency pump in there, and I think that's mandated now with all new pools. So there's a lot of little things that will help make you efficient across the board.
Where else but on Networking Arizona would you hear what to do when it's so hot here right now and you want to save some money? Give them a call. Their number is 623-688-0663. You can check them out on their website. It's ADHsolar.com, and let him help you. Let's come find out what are the solutions that we could do. Can we cut this bill down? Because that's all we want. We don't care about anything else but not having to pay these high bills.
Understood.
So, before we go to a break, do you want to say anything before we go?
You caught me there, not really. I'm
So
short of words at the moment.
It happens to me too. So here's the thing, the first and foremost thing is to be able to call somebody they are rated with the Better Business Bureau. You have been doing this for years. You are so educated on this, and you're passionate about what you do. We're going to go to a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk further. Write the number down and give them a call at 623-688-0663. They are statewide. They are rated with the Better Business Bureau. We're going to talk a little bit about how they also have financing available. We're going to be talking a little bit about leasing and what that looks like for you. Again, they are both residential and commercial. That number is 623-688-0663. Check them out on their website. It is ADHsolar.com. Hang tight. We're going to be back in just a minute. Sorry about that, but here we go.
No, you're good.
So we're going to keep on going. Are you liking what I'm doing here?
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Good. The other thing I did want to go back into was the leasing. That's really big.
The what? Oh,
the leasing.
Yeah.
And then I want to go back to the American products because I haven't talked about that yet.
Okay.
I think we did them all so far. We're doing that now. This is the voice that we'll probably use if that's okay with
Yeah,
you.
yeah, that's fine.
Oh, you know what, I need to say licensed, limited, and insured. Because that's important.
It is important, yes, yes, yes. Yeah, and that's like we were talking, it's the education part's big. And a lot of people aren't. They're not familiar what they bought. It was an idea, and there's like I was actually talking to one of my roofers. He got solar, not from me, and he would have probably paid about almost 10 grand less if he had gotten it from me. But his system, they only did 115% offset, even though he's got south facing. He still is having a higher bill in the summertime. So I said, well, we can look at it. We can add some stuff to it. We'll go from there. But it's a matter of knowing. And I always recommend get another estimate. Find out if they know, and make sure that you're getting a comparable estimate, because it's got to be apples to apples. It can't be apples to orange or
Right.
bananas or whatever. And
That makes sense.
know what you're asking for, because I've had people tell me, oh, I got this 15K system. And it's like, okay. And then it's back to, well, actually, it's 15K watt production, which is only maybe a 7K system.
Well,
So
to me,
it's again knowing, but they don't know.
well, I think a lot of people don't realize how to even look at their bill and know what it means.
Right.
Okay, that's the first problem.
The bill
There's
is
too-
confusing, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's why the way the solar actually works, it takes, to me, it looks like escalator fees is what I call it, like an APS bill.
They're
You have,
add-on.
if you look at your electric bill, let's say your electric bill is $150. Your actually cost of the electricity is only $50.
That's
The
terrible.
rest are adders. And the more you use, the higher those adders go.
Yeah,
So what you want to do is minimize that offset, and then those adders go away or go down. So,
yeah, well, that's the problem, is figuring out how to do that and
Yeah.
making it last long enough to be able to see that go down,
yeah.
I think, anyway. We're on show. So welcome back. It is boiling out there, and what's happening is we're using more usage. When we were talking a little bit about that you are, and now you're going to have higher bills. Just the way it's going to be. But if you listen to August is going to give us some ideas that we've been talking a little bit about for what we can do to help lower those bills. I mean, APS people, you got that super off-peak rate, that's awesome, 10 to 3, but us people that live
An
in
SRP.
the SRP don't have that.
Right.
So we've got to do stuff.
There's things you do. I do want to touch up on something real quick. I had it in my head there for a minute, and then I forgot.
Okay, I'll talk about
Yeah,
something else until
yes,
you
go
remember,
ahead.
okay? So a lot of times people, we heard that there was a credit,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Tax credit, yeah.
tax credit, right? And that went
Away.
bye-bye.
Yeah.
But there is something that you could still do for certain people. Go ahead.
Yes, if you're still interested in solar, there's an option for a lease, and some people don't want to do a lease. There are some benefits for a lease. Number one, you can get into solar, and the tax credit on a lease using American-made products. If you're gonna work with a company, make sure they have the right information. You'll get, obviously, if you're buying a lease, you can pay less for your solar because the leasing company's taking that in consideration of using that tax credit for themselves. So again, depending on your situation, and there's a lot of people that can't even use a tax credit, so it's perfect time. You could still get into it at least till the end of the year, possibly through next year as well. So there's information out there you can get me. And I just remembered also is that what I was trying to get at is people who existingly have solar, they've seen a increase in their bills, and some of that is because APS rates keeps going up. So on any portion of non-covered by your solar system, and if your habits have changed and you've got introductions to new things where you're creating more usage, you're going to be under the new higher rates. So your bills are gonna be much higher. And people, again, don't quite understand that, is what that and how that works.
You can't get away from it.
No, it's utility rates are gonna keep going up.
All the time.
Yeah, they will never come down.
It's so sad, but it is what it is. American products. You use American products. Important. You heard him say it, and it's not something that just slips by. It is an important part of it, because if you're using somebody and they're not using the American product, you're not going to get that.
That lease that's
no matter
available
what.
currently, yes.
Right. So.
Yeah, because a lot of leasing companies have gone out, like Sunrun used to be a big one here, they're out of Arizona.
Yeah.
They do some service work, and I just have people that share their unhappiness with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard a lot about that too. Okay, financing, you offer it.
We do offer financing, obviously. So that is available, and I used to do the old adage that if you have money in the bank, savings account or wherever you have your money, and you're not getting 10% return on your money, investing in a solar system, I'm not an accountant, obviously, so I'll do that disclaimer, but I would say you're gonna get minimum 10% return on your money investing into solar for yourself, because of the savings you get from the utility company, which keeps going up.
Well, but when you talk about that, there's a lot of people really, you have to sit down and talk to someone such as August, because who knows if it's right or wrong at that point.
Correct.
You know, and you don't know until you do all of the math
Yep.
to make sure that
Yes.
it really makes sense to do it in the first place. Am I correct?
Yeah, I like the sense part, but I'm always gonna change right back up to dollars. Does it make dollars for you? Because there's a lot more investment there.
There you go. Well, that's what he wants to help everybody with. And right now, as you all know, we're dying because it's so hot here. And most of us just, what are we going to do? We're going to turn that air on. We don't know the little tricks,
Yep.
you know, of how to do that. Also, we don't know where our energy is going either. You know, I mean, when you were talking about the pool pump and how they have to be whatever one you said,
Multi-speed.
also our what do you call outside the where all of the fuse box is, right? Some people's fuse boxes are old, right? They have to be brought up to code, I understand.
They don't have to be brought up to code if it's existing. The only time they're brought up to code is if you make some changes. When you make a change, then you have to bring everything up to code.
What kind of change? Because I make a lot of changes all the time.
Well, do you make changes to your box, or if you're adding systems to your box, or something like that? Those are the changes that then, like, let's say if we're gonna put a solar system in and it's not, and we have to bring that box up, we got to bring everything up to code.
Then that has to be up to code.
Yeah. So if it's existing, you don't have to. However, though, checking your an inspection on your box, making sure that everything is tight, because loose stuff will create sparks and issues, could cause fire, or maybe higher usage as well. There's so many little things that go in there. So definitely inspection of that is good.
Licensed, bonded, and insured. I want to talk about this and how important this is. And another thing that I've heard is that when you have, let's say you have somebody that's going to come up and do something with take your solar panels off because you're getting a new roof or whatever. If you are not using a licensed contractor, am I right?
Correct.
That's no good either.
Well, yeah, the problem with that, and because we do some of that work with a lot of roofing companies, we do R&R work or DNR, removal, reinstall, detach, reinstall, and if you're not using a licensed contractor, electrical contractor, you're gonna probably void the warranty on your solar system. And that's another thing that, you know, you do want to educate yourself that no matter who you got it from, whether it's a lease or you own the system or the company went out of business, your warranties on your equipment is all manufacturer's warranties, and that doesn't go away. So you're covered no matter what. I mean, some of those entities out there will tell the customer that you're going to void your warranties. The only warranty that's get voided, particularly on the lease, is the original roof penetration warranties of that solar system, which is a no-brainer because obviously somebody new is putting a roof on and somebody else is going to be putting the penetrations in, so we assume that. But your manufacturer's warranties on your inverter, on your panels, on your equipment is not going to go away. That's part of what your deal is. Yeah.
Now, they're rated with the Better Business Bureau. They are statewide. They are both residential and commercial. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. and use American products. Important for everybody to know that he's here to educate everyone. And there are so many things that we hear every day, and especially for the door knockers. When they come in, that's what they're trying to do, is just sell you on getting solar. But you know what? That's not the case with you. You really want to come in there and look at, see what's going on, see energy. That is the most important thing. Is the number one place, or number two, I'll say, two places, the roof, their attic,
For
energy going on.
yes,
And
correct.
windows.
Yeah, windows, doors, and insulation in the attic. A lot of times people don't insulate that enough, and just that will make a change of what's coming through or going up being lost. I personally am a firm believer of insulating above your garage. A lot of homes are not. But for me, it's a space, again, that creates transfer of heat, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My dad had an air conditioner, a little one that he put in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it helped a lot. I mean, especially getting in and out of the car.
Well, and then if you have a garage door that is facing south or west, you're going to get a lot of heat on that, and you can actually insulate your garage doors as well.
So you see, there's so many different things. Solutions. That is what you're all about, is to help people with making good decisions and solutions for you, to help you save money on a bill that you're paying way too much money on. And you know what? They're gonna go up no matter what.
It's
It's
fact
just the
of
way
life.
they are. They
Yeah.
can do it, so they do.
You have a guarantee electric rates will go up. You don't have a guarantee for tomorrow. There's no guarantee in your pocket. So make choices in your direction.
He wants to save you dollars. That's what it's all about. Forget the cents. He wants to save you dollars. That number to call is 623-688-0663. They're rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they are statewide, both residential and commercial. Check them out on their website. It's ADHsolar.com. You got to tell me what you want to talk about for the last thing before you go and leave everybody with.
I'm gonna say, just check your systems. You know, if you want to save energy, there's ways to do that, and it's still out there, and that is your best bet. Energy savings puts more money in your pocket, less expenses to the utility company, allows you to make different choices. Maybe you want to go on a vacation, you know, you have the more money to save towards that.
Well, you shouldn't have to be paying it out the window anyway. What was
right, or the door, yes, correct, or your attic.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things to do there.
There are a lot of things that you could do, and if you don't know, he's the person to ask. You've been doing this for how long?
Probably about 16 years.
16 years, and is passionate about saving you dollars. Not cents, but dollars. Again, that phone number to call is 623-688-0663. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to pay these high bills either. So I'm in with you. Give them a call at 623-688-0663. Check them out on the website. It's ADHsolar.com.
Woo!
Hold on.